Okay, identifying targets. So targets tell us how much change is expected and in what direction. So your target values are set at a particular period. So your outputs should be achieved, your targets for your outputs should be achieved towards or at the end of your intervention. Because once the implemented partner's finished, they're not going to be giving you any more outputs, that's for sure, unless you give them more money. Yeah. At the end of the intervention and afterwards, that's when your outcomes and your impact targets should be set. So if you set an impact target and it's the same as the date for the completion of your project, it's probably not correct, because those impacts will only appear 2, 3, 4, 5 years after your implementation is finished, and your outcomes will be appearing towards the end of your implementation and afterwards. So typically an outcome target will be 12 months or 18 months or 24 months after the implementation of your project, because these are short to medium term changes, yeah, and they will happen only once the outputs are in place. Okay. Yeah, and when you're setting your targets, you look at past trends, you look at the risks and assumptions and say, is this target feasible? Are there risks there that could stop us from achieving these targets? Yeah, and you look at your baseline as well. It's like, I say, this is where we are now. What can we realistically expect to achieve by the end of the project or 2 years after the end of the project? That actually then makes it very important to set your target, which is sufficiently ambitious, yeah, to convince your bosses to sign off on it, but at the same time sufficiently realistic for you to be able to achieve them. And it's also not a technical discussion, because very often it becomes quite a political discussion, you know, because people will say, we expect you to achieve all of these things with the money that we're giving you. And typically the beneficiary or whoever it is, the partner organization, would say, we're not sure that's reasonable, maybe we want it lower. So it's not really a technical discussion setting targets. It's actually a subject which is based around dialogue, so discourse. So again, it's a participatory process. Setting indicators and setting their targets should be done with your partners so that you can agree on what can be achieved by your intervention. Just one final point is about the final button, is their use of intermediate targets. Set milestones, especially for outcomes and impact, because these processes can take time. And you know, if you just set a target value of whatever it is in 2025, that means you've got to wait 5 years to actually find out whether you've achieved that target value. So it makes sense at least halfway through. So like set a milestone, which is like, I don't know, whatever it is, half of the target value for like 2022 or 23, because then you can go and check to see whether we are moving generally in the direction we expect to achieve this outcome or this impact.